How
Hi
are you?
there. Hi, my epilepsy BFF.
Hi,
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm somewhat tired, but I'm okay.
Okay,
How are you doing with the purple on?
I'm good. I had to put on the purple just
That's
to,
right. We have to
for
rock the
epilepsy
purple.
awareness.
Yes, it is epilepsy awareness, but we have to rock the purple. Purple is
And
so great.
and we do.
Yes, yes, this is Epilepsy Awareness Month, so we have to rock the purple as much as we can. I even have the purple braids going on.
Oh, see, now I'm a little jealous of your braids.
I thought you would have purple in your hair.
Girl, I almost got the purple braids and then, well, I thought about it after I got my hair done. I was like, I should have just went get purple braids, but no.
Okay. Ah, that's
So
okay. That's
I'm gonna
okay.
probably go do it next month or so when I get it done again.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this, Natalie. I appreciate it so much.
Yes, yeah, that's okay. I mean, hey, that's what we have to do. I mean, we have these lives, dealing with epilepsy. So why not share with others? We must do this. It's important.
Hmm.
It's definitely important. Something
Yep, we
we
have
have to do.
to get the word out there.
Yes, definitely, definitely. How is
So I
it?
guess
How is it in Louisiana right now? How's the weather?
it's a little cool, but as you can see, I have a short sleeve shirt on. We can wear that still.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little breezy down here. We've been kind of getting a little bit of that tropical weather down here. So yeah, yeah,
Okay. So I guess do you want to start off with how we met?
yeah,
Or
yeah. You can go ahead and talk about how we met.
okay, guys. So me and Natalie was just talking and trying to figure out how we met. But being that we both are on medication and our memories are horrible, we had no idea how we met. We were literally like, no, it happened like this. I was like, no, it happened like this. But you came meet me at the hotel and with your mom. I was like, no,
But
Natalie.
really, here it is in the beginning, and just like a lot of epilepsy survivors and advocates, because a lot of us meet on social media. A lot of
Mhm.
epilepsy survivors meet on social media, which is a good thing. And that's how we actually met. We met on social media. And we interacted, through a lot of things, doing a lot of
Yeah.
virtual things on social media. So when I found out that I was an award recipient in New Orleans, I said, I have to see my epilepsy BFF and let her know that I'm going to be in Louisiana. And I said, we're going to physically meet. We already know each other, but we're going to physically meet. I'm going to Louisiana, and I called you, and that's how we physically met that
Yeah.
day. And we spent the whole day together. Physically. And I met your
Mhm.
mom that day and some family members. You met my mom that day. She was with me on that trip. So, yes, that was a good day. I even met some of your friends at the event that you took me to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
were,
so that was great too. So yeah, so also, again, I guess we can let some of the followers know that that's how a lot of epilepsy survivors and advocates, they meet on social media. And just like years ago in 2014, when I decided to go to Washington D.C. to the Epilepsy Foundation of America's National Epilepsy Walk, I end up just posting, hey, I will be in Washington, D.C. at the National Epilepsy Walk. If anyone would be, I would like to meet you guys. If anyone would be there, just let me know. You can DM me. And we all DM'd each other and said, okay, here's my cell number. And when we got there, we was like, hey, we just all met and we never parted. So that's how you meet a lot of people in the epilepsy community on social media. You stay
mhm.
connected, and you can literally one day physically meet, because especially if you travel to different states. So that's how you can stay in contact with people.
And that's so true. And I really do feel like I've found a community here, and you are one of the closest people I've ever met
Uh-huh.
on through the epilepsy community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people have told me that because once you meet, someone, especially being a survivor, but once you meet someone within the epilepsy community, they should become family, period. So, don't let them go. Keep in contact with them. Definitely communicate through social media. And that's a good thing about social media as well. You can always keep in contact with them that way, especially being distant, being out of state. So
Hmm.
that's how we will never part. Me and you must never part.
You got me up here.
I know, right? And then you came to Atlanta to visit family. Me and you,
Yes,
we got right together when you came to Atlanta. So
we did.
yeah. So it's like we never part.
And it's so true. So guys, if y'all are interested in connecting, connect. Like
Yeah,
just hit people
absolutely.
up in the DMs. Like
Connect with
for real.
connect with people. Again, if you want to know people who are just like you, definitely on social media. Social media is the key factor to connecting with someone
Hmm.
who is just like you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's one thing that I can say I love about social media. And also using the different hashtags, like you can use hashtag epilepsy, hashtag epilepsy survivor. Um, that's how you can just join the community, you know, and just go from there. You're not, and that right there goes to show that you're not alone in this fight, in this battle.
Hmm.
Right there. It goes to show that you're not alone in this fight. So, yeah, that's the key. Yes.
Okay, someone asked the question, Natalie,
Uh-huh.
if we ever travel to Canada. I've never been to Canada yet, but what about you?
Let me tell you, Canada is a place where I dream about going. I hope to go to Canada someday. That is like a dream place for me. I have literally looked up Canada, and that is really a dream place for me. Plus, I love Drake.
I love Drake too.
Plus, I love Drake. But also, too, there have been a lot of epilepsy survivors that in Canada that we've supported uh,
Hmm.
in Canada. And two of my books, The Seizure Diary, have made it to Canada. So we have supporters there. And I would definitely love to do an Angels of Epilepsy charity event there because there are epilepsy survivors in Canada that they deserve the recognition and attention. As well as we do here in the US, they deserve it there in Canada as well. So I would love to have um, Angels of Epilepsy to come there and also have an I Am Me campaign started in Canada.
Now
So,
that would
hey,
be nice.
whoever that is, let's work it out. DM Angels of Epilepsy. Yes.
Speaking of angels of epilepsy, should we start off with angels of epilepsy? Do you want to tell us about that or your journey first?
Let's go through the journey first because the journey of going to Angels of Epilepsy. Let's go into the journey first.
Okay.
I guess I'll start out just telling about my story. I was diagnosed with epilepsy at a very early age. I was 5 years old. And at that particular time, I had a very high temperature. Had a fever, and my parents, were actually trying to break the fever, but it was, uncontrollable. And I started to have seizures. So they took me to the emergency room, and the seizures started to become uncontrollable. So at that particular time, the doctors at the ER, they did, MRI exams and things like that. And they saw a scar on the left side of my brain, like the size of a dime.
Mm.
And with the multiple seizures that were going on, they said she has epilepsy. And again, that was in the early 80s. And, some people say, okay, what is epilepsy? We know a little bit about seizures, but what is epilepsy? So, my parents and family had to go through a lot knowing about epilepsy. And it was a journey for them. You know, I'm 5 years old. I don't really know too much, but I was a little like afraid at that time. Like, wow, can I not, play like I usually do? I'm afraid to go to school. What would people think about me? Because
Yeah.
going to school, I was passing out a lot, having seizures in class, and I would have the grandma seizures completely, like literally passing out. They take me to the clinic, to get help. My mother or father have to come pick me up. My sister, she went to the same elementary school, so they would call her out of class to come see about me. But one thing that I can say, again, I went to elementary school in the early 1980s. And during that particular time, I give credit to my classmates and my friends, my neighborhood community friends, because they never judged me. They did not bully me. They did not, tease me about what I was going through. My classmate cried when I was having a seizure. They wanted to help me.
And
It's like they felt the hurt when I was going through those seizures.
yeah.
And I appreciate that. When I had a seizure, whether we were on the playground, whether we were in the classroom, they like help Natalie. And when they found out, when they saw me, become awake after the seizure, they were like happy. They're rejoicing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of my classmates, even today, they're happy to see me awake. They're happy to see me, like recover or just out and about. You know what I
Just
mean?
out thriving, like what
Yes.
you're
So I
doing.
so I really do appreciate that. And as you know, it's a somewhat different now with these younger generation that are in school right now. Many are teased. They have telephones now
Mhm.
that can record people,
Yeah.
teenagers and children that are in school dealing with epilepsy, and then they're bullied and teased about it. I didn't go through that in the early 1980s. My family, the classmates I had, my neighborhood friends, even in the community, if I was to have a seizure outside playing kickball, they went and got help, you know? So,
And see, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go
I
ahead.
didn't go through, I went through, mine was similar like you as well. I
Uh,
wasn't bullied either.
right, right. How was yours? How was it when you were growing up
Um,
in the neighborhood?
I was 9 and it was in middle school. So like when I had seizures, they just kind of protected me, the teachers and everybody. I never was teased all the way throughout. Never.
Yeah,
Like no one ever said like that's the girl that have seizures.
right.
Like I stayed friends with everybody I was friends with.
Yeah,
Nobody looked at me differently, you know?
right, right. And it's just quite strange how it is today. It's
It
quite
really is.
strange.
Like they make fun of it. It's so weird. Hold up, Natalie. I can't hear you. Hello? I can't hear you. What's going on? I can't hear you. I don't know. Should we log out? Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
we're back. I
Yes.
don't know what happened. I'm like, I hope a hurricane didn't come. Another
No.
tropical storm came. I'm just playing. I hope
Girl,
not.
I hope not. I pray
Sorry,
no
you
more.
guys. Yes. Well, what were we saying? Oh my gosh. We were you were explaining about you having your experience in school and how you were not bullied the same way as
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You didn't go through that like how it is today. You didn't go through it.
Yeah, I didn't go through that either. Like I pretty much kept the same friends, and like when I would have a seizure, I got an aura, so I would just tell my teacher, and they would let me leave out the classroom, and I would go have
Oh,
a seizure.
okay. So did you have grandma seizures? when you were young in school, or did you have like the Aurora seizures?
I had the grandma and or it just
Okay.
depended on the day and time.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah.
when I was young in elementary school, I had like just complete grandma seizures. Like I would literally fall out at
So
any
that's
time.
so you had that every time.
Yes, it was like every single time.
And
It
those take everything out of you.
yes, it was that bad. It was like I stayed in the clinic at elementary school when that's like where it was. And sometimes I would stay home. And even at one point, I remember my third grade year, I spent probably half of my third grade year in the hospital because
Mm,
I had so many seizures, and they had me dealing with brain monitoring and things like that because they were concerned about the lesion on my left temporal lobe, the scar on the left side of my brain. So
yeah.
they did a lot of testing and all of that. And I remember my dad, he used to pull me in the wheelchair, and I used to wave at the other kids in the rooms. It was just like, wow, this is like my life. But I didn't want to feel different. Like I'm okay. I didn't like, I wasn't like down. I wasn't down and out. I still like had fun with my friends and my family. I didn't want to feel like down or make myself feel different because I was having these seizures. It was just like, okay, especially since my friends and family were not judging me or looking at me in any different way. So it was just like, I have to get used to this life. So,
Well, that's a good thing. I think I went through a stage where I started to feel different when I started taking medication.
okay.
That was
That,
different for me as a
yeah,
child.
yeah. I can say that too now. I can say that too because I used to tell my mom and dad, like this medication is crazy because even when I sleep, it used to like make me like this medicine is crazy. Like it's waking me up out of my sleep.
Yeah.
Also, too, if I take it in school, it's not going to make me concentrate in class. I'm going to be drowsy. That's seizure medication is quite strong. So
Hmm.
I give it to if it's strong for me as an adult and the child is taking it, how does that child feel? And I wonder, I might need to ask a parent that if a child is taking, like right now, I take trileptal, I take gabapentin, and what's my other one? I can't really pronounce the name of it, but it starts with the Z, you guys. I'm pretty sure some epilepsy survivors on here. It starts with the Z. Zana is Zani something. Help me out, epilepsy survivor.
Oh, I'm trying to think, girl.
But but if that medication is strong for us as adults, how is it for the children today? And when they go to school, how do they manage? I mean,
Exactly.
they're homeschooled now. Many of them are homeschooled now, but how do children nowadays manage being under that medication? I could, because back in the day, I was like, I'd rather take my medicine when I'm at home. But my mom and my sister said, no, you need to take it at least before you go to school. But that was probably another reason why I was having the seizures because I wasn't taking, the dosage that I should have been taking. But if I was taking it, I would be asleep in class. I wouldn't be focused because the seizure medication was too strong.
Hmm.
That seizure medication was strong.
Girl, I remember I was on one on my senior year in college. I mean, high school. I was high. I
What?
ain't do nothing. And like my mom had to go to my doctor, take her off. Take her off. She is not doing nothing. like
What?
like I was going to class like this, like, what we doing today? Like I was like really high and I would come home and my mom would ask me stuff. I would be slurring, but it was like a slur, like I was just high. And I
Yes.
was like in a position of I was like, girl, give me my medicine. It's 7 o'clock already. Like I wanted to take the
Oh
medicine.
my gosh. Seizure medication is so strong. It is unbelievable. Even some parents, that contact our charity, And especially when their child is like recently diagnosed and they don't know too much about it, they
Mm-hmm.
this medication like is really strange to my child. Say, trust me, I know, because
Yeah.
I've been there and done that. Oh my gosh, I've been there and done that. I see someone just stated, they said, ever been on Keppra? I sure have, and I got off because let me tell you something about Keppra. But let me tell you this first. Um, every medication, every seizure medication affects people differently. I'm going to say
Mm-hmm.
that first. Every seizure medication affects people differently because, say, for instance, when I was a little kid, Dilantin was the worst medication ever for me as a child,
Me
right?
too.
But some people says Dilantin helped them. Same thing with Keppra. I can't stand Keppra. I immediately went to my doctor and said, take me off of Keppra. It is causing me to have it's like when people are talking to me, it seems as if they're talking slow.
See, I don't think I've ever, if I've been on Keppra, I don't remember. I would have to ask my mom
And
because that would have been
also,
medicine as a child.
Keppra dealt with a lot of discoloration of my skin.
Mm.
But the hearing, it had a lot to do. I said, this is the medication. And I immediately told my doctor to please take me off of Keppra. Also, I believe I dealt with some hallucination on Keppra. I kid you not, y'all. I told my doctor, take me off of Keppra. I did not like it at all. Another one I didn't like was Trileptal, y'all. OMG. No, not
Mm.
Trileptal. Was it Trileptal? No, it was another one. I'm gonna think about it, but it was another medication. You guys, I've been dealing with epilepsy for almost 40 years. So I've literally tried almost every medication. So trust me, I have a list I can tell you guys. But again, it's so strange. Someone just also said about hair loss. Do you guys know why I wear braids a lot? Because almost every seizure medication that I take, I deal with hair loss.
Nah, she said Topamax. That was the one for me. I had in eighth
Oh,
grade.
oh my God, Topamax.
That was
Yes,
that was my worst experience. I couldn't read.
yes. You couldn't what?
I couldn't read. It stopped me. I was in eighth grade. I used to have to read for class, like everybody had to read. I could
Yes.
not pronounce words.
Really?
Really. I was on that medicine for like a month. I lost 20 pounds. Couldn't read,
Now,
didn't want to eat, everything. I had to get off the medicine.
Topamax made me lose weight tremendously.
Yeah.
But again, the majority of the seizure medication that I take, I believe, even though the medication that I'm on now, which is, again, I am on Trileptal, I am on gabapentin. And again, I'm trying to remember the long word of that one I am on. It starts with a Z, Zoni something. But almost every seizure medication, it deals with hair loss, you guys. And that's why I wear braids a lot. I'm sorry. Every time I wash my hair, it's like chunks of my hair. And I have good hair, thick, but it's like chunks of my hair come out and I literally like cry sometimes. But that's why I wear a lot of braids. And that's why. But
I have a question, Natalie. I'm
uh-huh.
sorry. Do you take hair vitamins?
I take just vitamins, but someone advised me that I possibly need to take hair vitamins. I take like 3 different kinds of vitamins each day, but someone suggested that they say, there are certain vitamins that you can take for hair that's related
That's,
to hair.
that's what I
So,
do.
so I may need to consider that because I do want to kind of switch it up and not wear braids so much, but
I take hair vitamins. I take folic acid. That makes your hair grow as well.
folic acid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Vitamin. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me write this down. Or
Yeah.
a matter of fact, text me when we get off.
I can text you. Someone asked what medicines are we currently on?
Okay, again, if you guys, I just call it the medicine with the Z, but it's Zoni something, and I'm practically kind of new with that. But I am on Trileptal, and I am on gabapentin, and I do have my registration to take my cannabis oil. So those are the four seizure medications that I do take as of now, and I've been on those for about 4 years now, and I'm sticking with those because um, they haven't really gave me too much of a problem. All those other medications that I've taken for years, you guys, with the hallucination, the discoloration of my skin, the this and the that, the not being able to sleep, the hallucination, all of that. I said, get me off of this. And don't be afraid. Thank you for telling me
Hold up. You
my
on zanisamide?
yes.
I've been on that for 20 years.
Oh, for real? That's
Yeah.
my medication. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. So yes, that's what I'm on. But I can say those medications have helped me quite a bit. I still battle with my seizures. And again, there's no cure for epilepsy. I still do battle with my seizures. And I do have my registration card in the state of Georgia to take my THC oil. So I do take that. So that's, in reference to that. But going back, in reference to my history dealing with seizures, elementary school, I dealt with that battle. Now, going into middle school, yes, I still dealt with my seizure activity. High school, I had no seizures at all from my 8th grade year all the way up like senior year. I had no seizures at all. So at those particular times, that was the early 90s, right? The 1990s.
What medicine were you on?
I wasn't, let me see, I was like on not Dilantin. I'm trying to remember. I have to remember that. I'll get back with you on that. But the doctors end up saying, oh, she has grown out of those seizures. She can come off of it. Now, that was around my sophomore year in high school. So my family like, yay, she can come off of her seizure medication, right? No seizures. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. Freshman year in college, boom, came back.
Had a seizure.
I'm like, wow. So when I went back to the neurologist, it wasn't the same neurologist. I saw a whole new different neurology doctor. And I told them about I had a past. I was diagnosed at the age of 5. And they stated, you said you had a scar on the left side of your brain the size of a dime when you were 5. They said, well, now that's not the size of a dime anymore. You have lesions on your left side of your brain. And I'm like, wow. So they put me back on medication. I was not, like, literally not having many seizures. Like, I was like going months seizure-free, years seizure-free. I became a mother. I started to work. I was doing my thing, like literally being happy, working, living on my own. Became a mother again with my second child, like literally living. And then, as you know, I had a tragic car accident, having a seizure while driving in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
That changed my life. I hadn't had a seizure for 18 months when that happened. You see what I mean? How seizures do? You
Yeah.
don't know when a seizure will occur. You know what I'm saying? So that's why us as epilepsy survivors, we have to be so careful. And that's the scariest thing about seizures. We just don't know when a seizure will happen. That's the strangest thing about epilepsy. We don't know when it could happen. So we have to be so, so careful. But this is our life. We have to stay strong. We just have to keep going regardless. Life is a test. That's how I look at it. Life is a test, so let's be the testimony. That's how I look at it, dear. Yep.
I agree with you on that.
Yes, that's how I look at it, girl.
Now, someone asked, when was your last seizure?
My last seizure was actually the other day. Um, it was, thank God it wasn't a grandma. And my grandma's seizure was last week in my sleep.
Okay.
And my baby, yeah, my son, he had to help me. But the other day, I was literally at my computer, and I felt that I call it, is it
Aura?
aura seizure coming. And like it's like your brain, it's like when that seizure is getting ready to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sit there and let it happen. And then probably about 30 seconds later, my memory slowly starts to come back. And I just sit, wait, and I immediately grab my bottle of water or my juice that's right there. And I, hurry up and take a sip. And then once I have the energy to get up, I take my meds immediately. And that's one thing I tell my children or my caregivers or my family member, whoever is around me, immediately give me my medicine after I have a seizure.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Like if I took my medicine an hour ago, if I have a seizure right then and there, give me my medication again. That's just me. Give me my medication again, because I just need more medication in my body, because that's how afraid I am of those seizures. So at this point in time, I am experiencing grand mal seizures and the aura seizures.
So someone just asked, so you feel when one comes on?
Yes, I feel it when it comes on. Not the grand mal though, y'all. I can't feel when a grand mal seizure is coming on, because the majority of my grand mal seizures happen when I'm asleep. That's the
Mm.
worst part about those.
And that has to be hard. Like, how do you feel when you wake up?
Horrible. You can barely even move.
Mm.
You can barely even move after a grand mal seizure. So, the aurora seizures, though, I'd rather have those than the grand mal, honestly. I'd rather have those than the grand mal seizures, to be honest with you, because they're a lot more to deal with compared to the grand mal seizures. The grand mal seizures have caused me, it deals with some paralysis on my right side as well. You know what I mean? Your brain controls everything in your body. You know that, you guys. Your brain controls everything in your body. So that's why a lot of people with epilepsy, that's why I am pushing for epilepsy to become a disability. You know how they have all of these medical conditions and illnesses on the disability, for people to receive benefits as far as disability. Epilepsy is not on there, but epilepsy should be. And I am an advocate who is fighting for it. So trust me on that. We need epilepsy and seizure disorders to be part of the disability so people can receive benefits. I'm shooting for it, you guys.
Someone asked, wait, I'm looking at the questions. I'm sorry, Natalie.
Uh-huh.
Someone said, do you have a pet, any pets? My dog's not trained, but he always knows me, before me when one's coming on.
I do not have a pet as of yet. Years ago, I did sign up to receive a seizure first aid alert dog. And I was going to get one, you guys, but guess what? I gave it to a young boy to get it. I switched up and put his name on it because he needed it. I wanted him to go to school. I wanted him to, have a life and go to school, be able to go to the park with his friends, but he was just going to have that dog with him. I said, I'm older. I'm okay. I can have my children with me. I can have, I'm okay. I can have people with me. I said, but he needs to enjoy his life. So I gave that seizure alert dog to that. He was 7 at the time. I gave it to him. But let me tell you something about dogs. My sister dog recently passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But Max, his name was Max. Max was not a seizure first aid dog. He was not trained, you guys. But he knew every time I would have a seizure. When it, like before it would happen. I would be at my sister's house, and before the seizure would literally happen, like 30 seconds before the seizure would occur, my
Yeah.
sister said he would start barking. He would literally start. She said, Natalie, do you know that Max start barking before you said something or fell out? And one of my seizures, I knew I was getting ready to have one. And I said, Kim. And she said, my speech started to, kind of act a little strange. And she said, I was getting ready to fall, but she caught me. She said, but Max started to bark way before then. She said, during the whole entire seizure, she said, Max barked the whole time and his body was under me. And she said he started to slowly stop barking once I came out of the seizure. That right there goes to show how smart dogs are. Dogs do not have to completely be trained to deal with people who have seizures because they are so smart, you guys. Literally.
And I agree with that.
Dogs are the smartest pets. So trust me, if I don't get a man, I'm getting a dog.
How about we get both? Get both.
If I don't get a man in 2021, I'm gonna I'm just playing, you guys. No, seriously.
Girl,
I'm really thinking about getting a pet dog. Like,
I think you should get a dog.
I think I should. I think I should. Seriously. I really do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Angels of Epilepsy.
Yay.
Tell me about your organization and all the amazing things you do.
Okay. I started Angels of Epilepsy. It started in 2008, but I came up with the idea in 2007. I decided to have brain surgery in 2007. When the doctors in 2007, when I went to get more intense MRI exams and brain monitoring, and they told me that I had lesions that had spread on my left temporal lobe. They also saw a small cyst on the back of my brain, you guys. So when they just told me all of that, I went and did brain monitoring where they, just wanted to put me to sleep, see how the seizures were occurring in my sleep and all of that. And something that gave me the idea to actually have brain surgery was when I saw on a video cam at the hospital where they played the video back to me. I had a seizure in my sleep. And when they showed that video, my father was in the chair next to me and I was in the hospital bed. And I told my dad, I said, I'm getting ready to take a nap. My dad was in the hospital chair reading a book. And I went to sleep. Probably about 5 minutes later during that sleep, I had a seizure. And my father, you can tell him calling the nurses to, come in for help. And when the doctors replayed that video, and I was like, wow, I see myself having a seizure. And then I said, well, what's going on right now? And they said, look at your heart monitor. They said you stopped breathing for 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Oh my.
And all of a sudden it seemed like how someone jump out of the ocean and they catch that deep breath of, when I saw myself do that, that made me come up with the idea. I said, I want to have brain surgery. If you guys can help me decrease, there's no cure for epilepsy, but if it can decrease my seizure activity in any kind of way, I would go ahead and have brain surgery. In 2008, I had my first brain surgery where they placed the electrodes on the surface of my brain. And that was more so dealing with a test to see where they want to make sure they have the right place to take the damaged tissue from. They couldn't remove the cyst because it's on a part of my brain. If they go near it, I would be paralyzed. So the cyst is still on my brain. The second the second brain surgery was where they actually went in and removed the damaged tissue. But Angels of Epilepsy, while I spent all of that time dealing with the brain testing, the brain monitoring, all of that, I met epilepsy survivors at Emory University Epilepsy Center, you guys. I met families there. My parents met some families. We were like literally became family. And we had similar stories. And I remember talking to my dad, and I was like, I feel like I need to start some type of organization or a support group or something. And I said, no, not a support group. I need to start an organization. And I said, not just a organization that just have these programs. I need to like help people, because having the conversations with these survivors, is many of us that need help in the epilepsy community.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
my dad said, don't be a sayer, be a doer. So before my final brain surgery, remember I had the first brain surgery and then I had to go back to do the second one. I Googled how to start a nonprofit because this was fresh for me. And I took a 5-week free business course in my county. I just started taking notes, got information from my, family members who are entrepreneurs. And I started Angels of Epilepsy in 2008, November 2008. And that's why we celebrate, in November. And we've been going strong for 12 years now. That's why we celebrated on yesterday, 12 years. Yay!
And that is amazing.
Yes, yes. We just celebrated 12 years strong with Angels of Epilepsy. So what we do, we educate people. We make sure we have the health seminars. We give the resources, whatever they need. But we also provide for them. We provide for them. A lot of people don't understand that those in the epilepsy community also need help. Epilepsy is an invisible illness, so they need the epilepsy alert necklaces and bracelets. They need certain things in their home. They need transportation because many of them can't drive. I don't want them to go through what I went through in 2006, dealing with that tragic car accident. I don't want anyone to go through that. These lives, we need to save lives. Angels of Epilepsy will provide transportation. It's a lot that we do. We help with many are going through not being able to pay for their medical prescriptions. Angels of Epilepsy will help in any kind of way. So that's what my organization does. We help the epilepsy survivors. Not only do we help the survivors, but they're the parents and the caregivers that need help too. We're dealing with COVID pandemic right now. Many of the parents have been laid off. They need help. We're giving COVID relief packages to these families and, survivors who need food and necessities in their home. Angels of Epilepsy are giving it to them. We're sending out, gift cards in the mail to those in the many states. So that's what we do. Angels of Epilepsy Care. So, yeah.
That's amazing, Natalie.
Yeah.
That is really amazing. And you guys do so much just throughout the year and throughout this month, like in general.
Oh.
I'm about to ask you a question. Just tell me what you got going on, got coming up.
Oh, gosh. We have a lot coming up. Next, we have, get ready, you guys, for Dr. Lance Fogan. Dr. Lance Fogan is coming up on Wednesday. He is the professor and neurologist at UCLA. He is amazing. It is on our website and also on our LinkedIn, on this, on our Instagram page. It's on this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He is absolutely amazing, you guys. He will give definitely any like educational information that you guys may need from him when it's related to neurology, the brain, epilepsy, any kind of information that you guys may need from him. Tune in on this Wednesday. He is amazing. And we're also giving, he gave us these books for you guys. We're having a raffle gift giveaway. So his book right here, this novel is amazing. I read this, you guys, years ago. I was going to actually go to UCLA to 2020 to sit in one of his classes, but the pandemic. But this book right here, you guys, is absolutely amazing. And we have 2 of them to give away at this webinar that we're doing on Wednesday. So sign up on our website, you guys. Also, it's on our link tree that's located on our Instagram page. So yes, that's going to be on this Wednesday. Sunday, we have a epilepsy family, a mother and a father. She's an epilepsy survivor, but they're going to talk as a family, how they united as a family, dealing with epilepsy and the challenges that they've faced, but how they came together, united, you know, dealing with, you know, so much in their household. And that's going to be great too. So make sure you guys tune in to Angels of Epilepsy Instagram live chat on this coming up Sunday. Next week, you guys know that we had Taj from SWV and her husband, the NFL legend, Eddie George. They came this past week, right? With a session that we had, we did a webinar session with them last week. But guess what? We're doing a part 2 coming up. It's probably going to be yes.
We got to catch that one.
Yes, it's going to be the last week in November, you guys. We don't have the date yet, but we're going to do a part 2 with just Taj. We're going to do a Q&A, so you guys will be able to ask Taj some questions on that webinar. So make sure you guys tune in as well to that.
And you have a yoga and meditation that's going to be on what, Friday?
Yes, we have the yoga and meditation. That's going to be on this coming up Saturday at 1 p.m. And everybody, you guys, it's a free session. You can join in. You actually will be able to actually face-to-face meet other epilepsy survivors, parents, and caregivers, and introduce yourself. And we're also giving away gifts, so you guys can join in as well. It's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday as well, and that's free.
So you guys, please sign up. I've signed up, so.
Yes, it's going to be great, you guys.
So where can we all donate?
You guys can donate. It's Epilepsy Awareness Month. You guys can donate to our website at angelsofepilepsy.org. It's on our website. And, you know, we greatly, greatly appreciate, you know, all the proceeds go to exactly what we do. The medical ID alert bracelets, the, again, we're dealing with dealing with the COVID, you know, relief packages, because so many people, the survivors, the parents and caregivers, they are in need. We do have a list for the medical ID bracelets and necklaces, because so many survivors are in need of it. But with your support, that helps so much as well. Also, the survivors also need help with getting their medical prescriptions. They need their seizure medication, so we provide the gift cards, you know, for them, and for the parents as well, for the children. So your donations is greatly appreciated, you guys. We thank you so much. And again, you can go to angelsofepilepsy.org.
And someone asked, do you guys ship to Canada?
Yes, we do. Absolutely. We sure do. We deal with people all over. We are worldwide. We are worldwide. We are worldwide. So we do ship to Canada. And actually the Seizure Diary have made it to 7 countries. So yes.
That's amazing, Natalie.
Yes. We help people all over. Absolutely.
And what would you want to tell someone who's struggling with epilepsy right now?
I would tell you guys, first of all, to know that you are a champion. You are a champion, because a lot of people may not know, but we are some of the strongest people on this earth. You know, our brain, many may not know, but your brain controls everything in your body, right? There are people who deal with cancer. There are people who deal with other, disabilities and diseases, right? But
Mm-hmm.
your brain controls everything in your body.
And it does.
So with us battling with epilepsy, we deal with a lot. That's why after we have a seizure, that's why we deal with so much. But we are still here. So every time I come out of an episode, you guys, I say thank you, God, and I smile. I'm like, whoo! It's like I don't cry anymore. It's like I have joy. If I do have a tear coming down, it's tears of joy. I'm like, I'm thankful. You know, I've been going through it for so long. I know that it may hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
know that, you may be tired from it, but be grateful, because there are some people that don't make it out of it. We just dealt with a family who just buried their 12-year-old son. Before that, it was a 34-year-old father in Toledo, Ohio that we dealt with. So we are some of the strongest people. So be happy each and every day that you wake up. Be full of joy. Share your story. Don't be afraid to share your story. That's why I tell people to get involved with organizations like Dira Howard's organization, like Angels of Epilepsy. Follow other support groups on social media. Hashtag epilepsy, hashtag epilepsy survivors. Join
Mm-hmm.
other people so you can become family and friends with those in the community. Okay? Definitely don't give up. Don't give up. Continue to live your life and be happy. Continue to live your life and be happy, because you are so strong and you are amazing. Believe that.
And that's so true. And you have a story to tell.
Absolutely. And you do too, ma'am. You do too. Many of these people do too. Trust and believe. And that's why they are so truly amazing. And these epilepsy survivors, that's what keeps me going every day. They are my pride and joy. That's what keeps Angels of Epilepsy going every single day. That's what keeps me going every day. So I love you guys.
And we love you too, Natalie. Do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I think that's it. I just want everybody to definitely stay safe. We're still dealing with this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
The crisis is kind of getting up there. I just want everybody to make sure that you stay safe. Wear your mask. If you need to stay home, definitely stay home. Don't get out unless it's necessary, but definitely wear your mask. Wash your hands as much as possible. And as epilepsy survivors, just make sure you take your medication, see your doctors on a regular, contact your doctors if needed. Join the many support groups in your area. Follow the different support groups or the organizations on social media. Contact them if necessary. Angels of Epilepsy, all the information is on the website. Feel free to call, feel free to email, whatever, just contact us. If certain things that you may need that we may not have, we'll try to figure it out to get it for you. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely, it's like we're family. We're going to figure things out in some kind of way, So
Yeah.
definitely, it'll work out in some kind of way. That's what we do. How family try to figure things out. And that's exactly what Angels of Epilepsy do. We will work it out in some kind of way. Absolutely.
Well, okay, Natalie. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yes, I enjoy my epilepsy BFF.
I enjoyed it too.
Yes,
And I will post it. And you guys tune into all of Natalie's events this upcoming week, and I will post them all.
yes. Thank you so much. It was so good chatting with you, girl. I
It
enjoyed
was.
it. I enjoyed this session, and I
I
enjoyed the
enjoyed it
questions.
too.
Yes, I enjoyed the questions too that they put on there. That was great too, interacting with them. Thank
It
you
was.
guys. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Have a great evening. Take care. Happy Epilepsy Awareness Month. See ya.